Did they work together, Eno and Dravs, simultaneously, or did you work separately?
They were kind of like Cagney and Lacey, or Turner and Hooch, not Turner and Hooch, Starsky and Hutch.
I was thinking of Chips, so I don't know where my head is.
But they're one of the great duos, you know, good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
Yeah, well, Dravs is like he's the hard worker, isn't he? And he really pushes you. And Eno, as far as I could gather, was the one who suggested that you take it easy, take it slow, take rests. You know, think about things differently.
I think everybody works pretty hard. Even Brian, even though he did say, "Can we have tea at 3?"
Really?
Or whatever.
Now, by tea, you mean cups of tea, or do you mean...
I mean, what do you want me to say?
Dinner.
Oh, I see. Do I mean tea or like...
Yeah, like I'm
English
thinking that's
tea?
an early dinner.
Well, what's tea in Australia?
Tea can be dinner.
Oh, it can be. Oh,
Yeah.
same here.
Yeah. So he wants to have dinner at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, he wants to have tea.
He wants to have tea, right. Well, they're both, you know, quite legendary. Eno, in particular. And you'd worked with him before?
We worked on one track for about 4 minutes, about 3 years ago. But we all were becoming friends. And then 2 years ago, we called him to say, we'd really like to change things up a bit. Do you know anyone that might want to produce us? And he said, well, I'll come in for a week. And that turned into
2 years.
Quite a lot of weeks. It took us a very long time to dismantle all the kind of Coldplay formulas and then find new ones, you know.
When you speak about formulas, are you talking about the last 3 albums and the fact that you said that they were a trilogy, they were of a style, they had a story, and that this new album is a very different prospect? Is that right?
Yeah, I think that would be fair. We just didn't want to repeat ourselves at all.
We just didn't want to repeat ourselves at all.
At all.
At all.
Are you starting to feel like that though? Now you're doing all the publicity and heaps of phone calls talking about the album.
We've only just started. You're lucky. You're catching us quite
good.
Quite fresh.
But you know, it's a frightening thing to do, to say, well, if it's a piano ballad, it's not allowed this week or this year, you know. So we actually ended up recording most of Viva La Vida in about a month, right at the beginning of this year, and mostly live.
Your voice, in particular, on one of the tracks, is fantastic. It's the low register, and it's you know, it's a very different sound, and I thought quite striking, and I loved it. Was that sort of hard for you to do that and go, this is not what people expect, but I'm sticking with it?
No, because I was kind of ready to try different ways of singing. I don't know how much we can get away with it, but I'll try as much as possible.
Barry White did it for a whole...
Barry White did it for a whole thing, and his first 3 albums were purely soprano.